And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And I was like, that's freaking Rengoku. That's who the F that is. And he was like, who? And I was like, Rengoku, the guy who I told you that I'm obsessed with, the one who I want to get a tattoo of, like anime zaddy, right? And all of a sudden, like, I see Mark Whitten, who I love to death, but like, he looked so frightened. And I was like, oh God, he can hear me. Okay.
Caught in 4K.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming to you from Crunchyroll HQ, this is the Anime Effect. Each week we bring you interviews with amazing people across the world of anime, from directors to actors, artists, celebrities, mythological creatures, and more, to discuss their work and their anime favorites. It's pop culture
with an
anime lens.
You gotta do the hint. Oh my God.
Can you do the upside down?
Well, I'm always talking, so I'm not like...
All right.
Yeah.
Today, not only do we have Papa Friedman back in studio, but we are sharing our interview with WWE Superstar Zelina Vega.
Woohoo!
You will get to see her amazing cosplay firsthand, as well as hear how she ended up getting an anime tattoo with an English voice actor.
What?
For a character she was getting a tattoo for. It was great.
Yeah.
It's a super wild story, and I'm excited to share this interview with everyone because the streams have crossed. So for me, anyway. But
I don't get it.
Oh my God. It's your boy LeAlec Murray back in color commentary.
I watched the Royal Rumble this past weekend, and I'm your host, Nicholas Daddy Friedman.
Welcome back.
We did it.
You said you weren't going to stress me out.
Too late.
With it.
Too late.
No, let's leave it. Let's leave it for the show.
Too late.
I'm going to leave it like this.
Too late. Too late.
Can you make the Eiffel Tower out of it?
Maybe.
That's the mess-free streamers. Whoa, I got you right in the head on that one. Yeah.
What the hell is this?
This is like those sticky hands. You know what I'm talking about? The sticky hands where you're like...
All right, now for all the listeners, describe it for them.
Oh, we just popped some mess-free streamers all over Nick.
Mess-free streamers.
That's how they were advertised.
Because we could just pick them up and walk away
with. It's not like a confetti cannon where it's going to be like...
It'll get everywhere and it'll take like 5 years.
Who's the third person that we're hosting with?
Oh, hi, I'm Leah President. And we are all here to see just how powerful the effective anime really is. This is so fun. Look at all the color.
I know there's so much dynamism on the show today.
Yeah. You look like you harass a lot.
Well, it's true. I am back. I have returned. I'm here to bring chaos, anarchy, ruin.
I love how the streamers are just like...
I feel like a clown, like pulling a thing, like, whoa.
We talked about close-up magic on the news episode.
We did.
This is nothing like that, but...
No, not at all. So,
yeah.
Now that we've gotten that out of our systems,
what do you want to know?
How was your dad break, dude? Like, we've been talking to you.
Do you feel like a different person?
No.
Just like... the same person, but now with like a cool like mini me side.
You have a child attachment.
It's interesting. I don't, because I've talked to other parents like around our age, and they say they never feel like parents. It's sort of just like now there's this person, and she's the best person.
Aww. Charlie XCX wrote a song like this on her album.
And really promo. While I'm speaking,
she won best album package or whatever.
Brat. That's Brat.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, it's just really cool to just have this person, and then like when you look at this person, all these thoughts run through your head of like, oh my God, eventually they're gonna know about me. And all the dumb that I said on this podcast that we've done for 50 episodes. But also like, I don't know.
They're going to know about Nick's rom-com corner. Oh, no.
There's like all these things that like they're going to get to do for the first time. Like, I don't know, eat ice cream for the first time. Like I get to be with a human when they eat ice cream for the first time.
That is actually crazy.
That's actually like incredible. Like the fact that you'll be able to do a lot of stuff with your kid for the first time.
Yep.
And you get to like contextualize it as their first time and not like something that you've done a million times.
Yep. Like imagine seeing the ocean for the first time.
Yeah.
Like Eren Yeager from the anime series Attack on Titan. We made it. And then the show ends there.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we all shut the laptops.
Yep,
Yeah.
And then we all
close
shut the laptops. But no, yeah, she's great. Her first movie was
I just want
Digimon
to be
movie.
included.
Also.
Oh, I was going to ask what her favorite anime or like her first anime.
It was Digimon movie.
Yeah.
And then since then, we try and limit screen time because, like, you know, I don't know.
You don't want an
it could be a
iPad
lot.
baby.
Yeah.
Or...
I mean, or like if that's what she wants, but like I want her to like at least not be fully locked in like we all are. She's also watched Tokyo Godfathers. And we started Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh, that's a good one.
She's still too little to really know anything about anything.
What's been your favorite dad thing so far?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Okay, so she's really into like orange cats, like big orange cats, so like lions, tigers, and so she has this like fuzzy. Well, we haven't introduced her to Garfield yet. That's a whole new thing.
She's not ready for cynicism.
Well, she'll have to watch Neon Genesis Evangelion before we introduce her to Garfield. No, she has this like book, this like fuzzy book that has a lion face on it. It like opens up and it's a book. But so we call him Lionel. And she loves when you hold it really close to her face and go, "Rah!" And then she gets the biggest smile on her face. Just like
she's gonna love horror movies.
She's got that gummy smile, just like,
I love it.
That's my favorite thing.
That's really sweet.
Incredible.
I kind of want to hear more stories, but also I'll transition.
I'll pepper them in.
Yeah.
Throughout.
All right, next up is the one, the only Zelina Vega.
Oh, that was good.
Did I do that pretty good?
That was pretty good.
Vega.
Surprised myself. Vega.
Shout out to DJ Vega. I don't know if this is the show or not.
You don't want to miss her incredible stories and also her cosplay.
Yep.
So tune in.
Guys, I am so excited. I am so excited.
This is a crazy day, guys.
This is a moment because if anybody has listened to the podcast since inception, I talk about two things probably ad nauseum. That's tokusatsu and it's wrestling.
Yeah.
Well, no toku today, all wrestling. We have WWE Superstar Zelina Vega in the house with us. You have seen her on WWE Raw on Monday nights. And she was your first ever Queen of the Ring and former women's tag team champion. You can also catch her on her podcast with Dakota Kai and on her epic Twitch streams. Zelina Vega, welcome to the Anime Effect.
Thank you for having me, guys.
For sure, yeah.
This is such anytime like we have an opportunity to like, can we get this wrestler on the show? It's me. I'm the one in the chat. Can we get a wrestler on the show? It's me.
I love that. I love that.
And we have to talk about what you're wearing today.
Oh my God, yeah.
So it's Todoroki. I love him so much that I was just like, you know what? I'm feeling his vibe. I've been bringing the hair to TV anyway, so I was just like,
really?
You know what? Yeah, I've been wearing like the Todoroki hair like pretty frequently, so I think I'm gonna stick with that one for a while.
Yeah, and this is something you've been doing, right? You were doing a lot of like cosplay during the Halloween season too, right?
Right.
Yeah, I did. I feel like I'm even losing count, to be honest. I know I started with Gojo because I was like, I wore the silver hair for a while.
Classic.
So I was like, I'm going to start with Gojo. And especially because the Megan song came out and I was like, can't touch me like Gojo. Like, that's so fire. Like, what? So, I started with him and then I went to, I believe it was Kakashi. And then Ken Kaneki, who I'm obsessed with.
Yes.
And just like his whole story in general. And then I went to Todoroki. I even went the K-pop route and did Felix from Stray Kids because I'm a huge Stray Kids fan.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. We love Felix. We love Felix.
I'm obsessed with Felix. It's really unhealthy. But
no, same.
Yeah. And then me and Rhea, we did Ryuk and Misa from
I did see that one. That one was good. That one was good.
Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Well, we love to start our interviews. Anytime we have a guest on, we have to know, what was your gateway anime? So basically, what got you into anime?
So I guess some people will say like, oh my God, this doesn't count. But for me, it does. It was Pokemon. Like Pokemon was like the start of everything.
Absolutely
counts.
Yeah, it has a manga, then the anime. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I was like, no, Pokemon kind of started. I even have Pokemon tattoos. I have a huge Gyarados on my leg. I have an Espeon on my arm. Like, I'm obsessed. So I would say Pokemon kind of started it, and then I went into like Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon era, Digimon kind of stuff, and then Inuyasha, and then it kind of just evolved from there. Naruto was like the one though. That one is like
for sure.
Yeah. A lot of
for sure.
Isn't your current ring gear you're wearing is or you've done it previously is Naruto inspired, right?
They keep changing. I keep changing it. So like I don't even know. Technically, my first cosplay ever in WWE was Vega from Street Fighter, which is also how I got my last name for Vega. But as far as like Naruto goes, I want to say Madara Uchiha was like my first ever like one. If I'm correct, it was either Madara or it was Itachi, one of them.
So cool.
Right, so I know you spend a lot of time on the road, but what do you get a chance to like really keep up? What's on your watch list right now?
I'm finishing my hero. So my problem was
we could never tell.
Yeah, right, exactly. I was like, I love him so much. He's so cute. But like, and in my head, they're all 21 at least. So it's not even a thing. So let's just like start there. But so my problem was I started My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Attack on Titan at the same time, which was like the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I had to like abort mission, finish Tokyo Ghoul, and then come back around to finish My Hero, and then just continue. But
yeah, I mean, those are some heavy hitters to be watching all at once.
Yeah,
I was obsessed. I couldn't help it, and then I was like, "Wait, what happened? Where I'm lost." And I had to like just say, okay, one at a time and just go from there. So.
The amount of anime I've had to restart because I'm watching too much at one time.
Just the pain of having to limit yourself to just like focus on one. It's like choosing children.
Yeah. So we talked about your ring gear just a little bit, but can you go a little bit deeper into how anime has inspired you in the ring, but then probably also like kind of talk about outside the ring too, because a lot of people probably don't know that you're as big as you are on Twitch and whatnot. So kind of walk us through that too.
Well, what's funny is some people will look at me and like, oh my God, she's just like cosplaying because it's like, she gets clicks and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, actually, no, I was that weirdo in school that did it too, but that's okay. But yeah, it's like.
Show the receipts, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was just like, I don't know. I've always been like really into it, but more so once I kind of started doing it for the Rumble, like every Rumble I started with a cosplay. And it was, first it was Vega, and then I think it was Sindel and Madara, Jury. So like it's kind of evolved every year, but then I started sliding them slowly into things. My favorite thing was that I got the voice actor who's a really good friend of mine. His name is Neil Kaplan. He's the voice actor for Madara Uchiha, like the English voice actor. And he did the entrance, like my entrance music. He did like the intro part to my song. So like getting to hear Madara say like, "All hail the Queen, Queen Zelina," I was blown away by that.
I'm gonna have to go back. Wow.
Yeah, we need to go look at that moment.
Wow.
Yeah, and it happened at the Rumble too while I was dressed as him, so it was just like a double hitter there.
That's cool. That's very cool.
I wanted to start like implementing, and just for certain reasons too. Like I wanted to have certain characters for certain times, certain matches. I just did Daki from Demon Slayer when I was going up against Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship match that I had. So I wanted to bring her kind of fiery vibe to everything. And it always happens for a reason. There's always a reason why you'll see an anime character like in my gear, for sure.
Yeah. I wanted to go back to something that you said earlier, like how you mentioned like, no, I've always kind of liked anime. I was the nerdy kid. I'm sure, Leah and I, we talk about how much we relate to that. Yeah. Has it sort of changed being in the WWE space? Have you encountered a lot of other people that share that same kind of love of anime and take inspiration from it?
I mean, I don't really, I would say more so like the New Day. Like I get to talk to like Kofi and Xavier about like anime. Dawkins is a big anime guy. Ricochet really was. And Rhea, her thing is Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball's her thing. So,
okay.
But other than that, no, I don't think anybody really knows it. And like some people, understandably so, because the looks are really cool and like the hair is cool or whatever. Some people will do it because they think it's just cool, like the look of a character or something. But as far as like a genuine and Dakota Kai, obviously, like she loves Pokemon. So like getting to like a deep rooted love, it's really just like that group of people. But it's funny that now all of a sudden it's becoming cool. And I'm not a gatekeeper to an extent, but I'm not the kind of person that loves like, and I guess my husband is like that in a way where he's like, tattoo culture was like our thing, and it's like posers, gross. But I think when it comes to this, I'm a little bit like that. It's just like we suffered in school and we were made fun of and stuff.
Yeah.
So now it's like cool all of a sudden, like, but you know.
Yeah. Yeah. We've said in the past, like, oh, hey, you made fun of me for this.
Right.
And now you all love it.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to shoot in the
guys
gym,
are
but
all
now you like
sitting there.
it.
Yeah, like, ooh.
Oh my gosh. We got the first ooh-woo drop on the show.
Is that really the first one?
I think that might be the first
All right,
ooh-woo
well,
drop on the show.
And that was making fun of it.
So you said there's not a lot of wrestlers that, you know, that you look at and they're like, or that you talk to and they're into anime. But just I guess an overall broader question. If you had an anime club made up of wrestlers, who's going to be in the club? Like who are y'all are getting together after Monday night and y'all like, all right, let's 2 hours. We're just going to watch whatever for 2 hours.
Or even people that you're
like,
I think this person would like anime if they gave it a chance.
Yeah. So
I'd have to like force some people, like for sure. I'd have to like force them into it.
In this made up scenario, they come willingly. Yeah.
You're not dragging them.
Okay, so I will say, like, I had an interesting conversation with someone who I'm not the bestest friends with on TV, but Liv, she actually asked me about the cosplay that me and Rhea did for Death Note. And I was like, I think you'd like Misa. She's like obsessive, kind of like you. She's, you know, she's like a ride or die for her dude, like you. And I was like, I feel like you'd really like her. She's, you know, she's kind of ditzy, also like you, and you know, just like
just backhanded
shots fired on the pod.
No, but it's, you know, and but the funny thing is with her, like, if you can kind of pique her interest when it comes to certain things, she'll explore it. So I think she would probably be interested in like a Death Note kind of situation. But I guess Rhea, just because she likes Dragon Ball, whatever. Definitely Woods, definitely Kofi, Dawkins, you know, and to be honest, I feel like I just love hanging out with Dakota and Bianca so much that I just drag them along just whether they like it or not.
Okay.
Yeah, for the vibe.
I feel like,
for the vibes,
I feel like Doc would just make y'all watch One Piece all day. Like.
Yeah, but then I just say, okay, but like you have to finish Naruto fully first, and then we'll like jump into that. You know, I was like, because like I need you to see Madara in all of his glory.
So wait, so Doc hasn't finished Naruto? Like
I don't think he has, because I remember talking about Neji and he was like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like,
First, Neji's the man. Second, we need to get Dawkins and Nick and just lock them in a room because our other co-host Nick hasn't finished Naruto either. So we just need to lock both of them in a room.
Peer pressure.
And finish Naruto. Yeah, just
pure force. Pure force.
It's a bit of a crime. And also, like, Neji is the only Hyuga in my eyes, and hopefully the world's, but the only Hyuga that really matters. So, you know,
wow.
Personally, I don't like Hinata. Like, I have a really big issue with Hinata and Sakura.
Spicy takes.
Yeah. But like, you know,
we can talk. Yeah, we'll talk about that off the camera because I also have opinions. But so obviously, you know, you're known for a lot of like costuming and cosplay and also just like really in and out of the ring. What I want to know is, how do you choose which anime character to cosplay as? And do you choose your favorite characters or just like ones you like the aesthetic of, or do they, like symbolize something specific?
I feel like you just have a dartboard. you just throw darts. He's like, all right, I'm going to do this one today.
It depends. Like, it depends on what my mood is. But it's also like if I'm a good guy or a bad guy. You know, I've been a bad guy for like 7 years. So I got to have fun with all the bad guys. Like, obviously Madara, like I said. But I think once I thought about it, I was like, because I was starting to become a good guy, and I was kind of entertaining the Itachi, so kind of like drop little seeds of like, hey, this might actually be the case, like little things to kind of relate. I love the story of like just Ken Kaneki's whole thing of like, the rose into the spider lily, and like once you see like the splash of blood on it, that change, or like just the Marie Antoinette syndrome and the whole thing with his hair is so sick to me. So I'm just like, okay, that's gonna have to come into play eventually. Like there's gonna have to be something there. What? Or even with Daki, I was just like, she's she's very misunderstood. So I think like when it comes to whatever the storyline calls for, I usually can pick a character based on that. I was actually working on a Rock Lee one because Rock Lee to me is like
incredible.
I wanted to do like the weights too, where I can just like take them off. And like I asked them, I was like, can you guys like add like smoke when I drop them? Like, is that a thing? Like
they're like, wait, you want to do what?
That would be so sick.
Yeah. So I was like, I want to
awesome.
do Rock Lee because also like there's a lot of similarities. I feel like that like pushing through things, you know, regardless. Like I do see a lot, as much as I love Todoroki, I see a lot of Deku in me too, because I see like Bakugo and Todoroki as like these, they're born with all these gifts. So I think of like Bianca or Ria or just like people who are like born amazing. And then Deku had to like work his ass to get there. So I'm like, hey, hi, still doing that. You know, so stuff like that.
Yeah, I love what you
awesome.
said about like the villains being misunderstood. I love that because I feel
do
like
not give Aaron any credit right now. Do not.
I just feel like a lot of the times like you can have a lot more fun with the villains and because obviously, you know, maybe something happened to them that made them like that and like learning their backstories. And you were talking about like Tokyo Ghoul and the symbolism and like I just love what you said there.
Yeah, I do. And I also like just from a wrestling fan tip, like I do love the heel and face part of it and like where you are and like your storyline and where to place that. So I think that's cool. It's a cool little tidbit for people.
I mean, listen, like if you had I don't know. Sometimes I think about it, I'm like, I don't think Madara was wrong, really. I don't know that he was, to be honest. Like,
was he wrong?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he was like completely wrong. I don't know. Personally, there's like, I like the what he was going for. The path maybe a little questionable. I mean, whatever.
Just a tad. Just a tad questionable. So let's talk about your in-ring a little more. You were part of the Latino World Order, or the LWO, probably one of the best like legacy groups just out there, just in general, led by the legendary Rey Mysterio. For people that aren't really acquainted with that group, can you kind of give an explanation of what LWO is about and what it's like being a member, especially this new iteration? Because I feel from Dragon Lee to Cruz and Del Toro, yourself, like this LWO is made up of just a unique like talent. So can you kind of give people an overview of what LWO is about?
So I think the cool thing for me is just I grew up a fan. Like when I was a kid, I loved Rey Mysterio, I loved Eddie Guerrero, and even just to be associated with something that Eddie had his hands in and that Eddie had touched and it meant a lot to him is incredible to me. So it's still like obviously removed from him, but like at the same time, like when I think LWO, you can't not think of Eddie Guerrero too.
Right.
So it's and then obviously like when our song plays, everybody thinks of Eddie. So it's like a nice immediately. And like, it's just a cool thing that I get to smile every time I do the Eddie shimmy. Like there's just like little things that you get to kind of just feel that connection in that way as much as you can. But for us, I think it's just with Latinos in general, we're not exactly known to be pushed to the moon at all times. Like we weren't always at the forefront. Like we had to scratch and claw and bite for any opportunities that we get. And I think it's just being that representation of that fight and making sure that we're showing the whole world, like we're here, we're going to fight for what we want and accomplish our dreams, but do it in a way that we're representing like all of our culture. So it's not just Mexico, it's not just Puerto Rico, it's not just Guatemala or Ecuador. Like it's going to be all of us, all of the Latinos. And it's nice to feel like you're a part of something that's bigger than yourself.
Yeah, he's honestly like I feel you on that, because like when you talk like wrestling Mount Rushmore, like Rey is like one of the faces for me.
Absolutely.
And because he was one of the reasons that I fell in love with wrestling in general, because like I started really, really watching during Monday Night Wars, and that's when they had the WCW had the cruiserweight division, and like him and Eddie were tearing it up, and Psychosis, and like all those dudes. Like, so I can only imagine like even Rey, where he is right now, and still doing incredible things at his age. I bet it's still very like. Yeah,
that's probably the best way to describe it. That yeah, that whole thing. It's like, it's real every time I go to work and I'm just like, yeah, that's so crazy.
I kind of want to loop back on the representation thing a little bit because you guys did Backlash on Puerto Rico, which was a huge show. Give me just a quick beat on like what that was like for you guys, like, you know, being in Puerto Rico and actually like getting to represent on, you know, kind of like home field advantage. What was that like?
You know, I've been asked that question so many times and I still don't know the answer completely because that feeling is so like indescribable. I can't put it into words, like how full my heart felt. Like, and I didn't really get like butterflies in my stomach. I got like hawks because I was super nervous.
Looping back to MHA, it was hawks.
Yeah, I was freaking out. And I remember like right before I went out too, Ray was like, just calm down. He's like, you're always like this. He's like, you gotta like, just calm down, just feel it. Yeah. He's like, if you're feeling like, you know, you're happy, be happy. If you're feeling like you want to cry, cry. And I was like, I'm not crying. Gangsta, ain't no crying. Right. And like, and anybody that knows me knows I do not like crying. I do not. Like, I remember seeing Rhea's stupid do like a interview talking about it. She was like, I can't believe like they actually made Zelina cry. Like that crowd actually made her cry. Like she's a little gremlin. Like she doesn't like to cry about anything. And I'm like, yes, but also thanks for that.
Yeah, I heard you called me a little gremlin.
Right.
Yeah,
I heard that.
It was, yeah, but it's also like an added layer because once I saw like my mom, my stepdad, my brother, and like my uncle, he wrestled Bruno Sammartino in his last match. So it's a crazy full circle just to like have everybody there. And there's like certain things that stand out. Obviously, the end of the match for like the standing ovation, obviously before the match opening the flag, and then grabbing La Chancla from my mom was so crazy because I still am just like, wow, the thing that I was like so afraid of as a kid is like the thing that I'm using to smack her with.
That's the most full circle moment of it all.
Yeah.
We actually, you know, heard some of your commentary work for Street Fighter 6.
Yes.
I mean, iconic series, right? What was that like to be not a part of just any game, but the Street Fighter franchise, a Street Fighter game?
Right.
Oh my God, it was incredible. And funny that you say that because I literally have this like sitting right next to me. And I'm just kind of like, what are the odds of like literally having this and this just like chilling right here? So I was just like, you know, because I wanted to do a new updated Vega cosplay anyway, but it's, I don't know, I feel like there's times where like the little kid inside me is just like, oh my God, freaking out because it's just such a cool thing that I've loved for so long. And then getting to actually see myself in it, be a part of it, getting to go to like the Capcom, like headquarters and seeing the game for the first time in its entirety with all of the people who worked on it, like incredible people and just hardworking. And I was just like, this is so insane that I'm even in your presence right now. So like, you know, it was so amazing. And I'm just so grateful that they took a chance on me like that. Like they've never used like any other wrestler to do that. So I was just like, I'm basically the Michael Cole of the game. So that's kind of cool, you know? And like, it's funny because of course this always ties back into anime somehow, but and I'm telling this crazy story again, but I'm obsessed with Rengoku, right? Like Rengoku's like,
for sure. For sure.
Our Lord and Savior. We love him. But like, I'm like, I don't know if I can say like certain things, and maybe if it's too much of a spoiler, you guys can cut it out. But let's just say when the event happened on the show, I was so mad that I messaged the voice actor, the English voice actor, and I was just like, no hi, no nothing. It was just like
immediate grievance.
Anger more so. It was like, y'all better undo what the F y'all just did to my boy. That was whack AF.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like thought, oh, he's never going to see this, whatever. So I was filming or recording the lines for Street Fighter, and the director was like, "Hey, so do you want to take a tour of the studio, whatever?" And I'm like, "Yeah, great." Yep. And mind you, before this point, he had asked me like, "Who's your favorite, voice actor, like anime character, blah blah." I'm like, "Oh, Rengoku, like I love him. He's my anime zaddy. Like if he was a real human, like I'd probably marry him, love him to death. I'm gonna get a tattoo of him. Really, really crazy." Yeah. And he's like, "Okay, great. Anyway, do you want to take a tour?" So I did. And he's like, "Yeah, that's my wife. She's recording somebody right now, blah, blah, blah." And I heard him say the word flame. And I was like, "Oh my God." Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he was like, "What?" Yeah. And I was like, "That's freaking Rengoku. That's who the F that is." And he was like, "Who?" And I was like, "Rengoku, the guy who I told you that I'm obsessed with, the one who I want to get a tattoo of, like anime zaddy, right?" And all of a sudden, like, I see Mark Whitten, who I love to death, but like, he looked so frightened, and I was like, "Oh God, he can hear me." Okay,
caught in 4K.
Great,
yeah, absolutely.
So then, they introduced us or whatever, and the first thing he says to me, he was like, "Didn't you write to me on Instagram one time?" And I was like,
"No." I would just disintegrate. Like,
oh my God, I wanted to. I was like, I don't know, because like there's people who make fake profiles all the time. Like it could have been somebody else. And he was like, "I don't want to have the blue check." So and I was like, "Okay, yeah, listen, I was upset. Okay, I might have had wine. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's never been more fine than it is. I'm sweating." So it was one of those kind of conversations. But then he was really sweet. He understood, obviously. But I was telling him about the tattoo. And fast forward, he ended up coming with me to get my Rengoku tattoo. Oh, wow. So yeah. We ended up becoming good friends.
Your whole life is just made of full circle moments.
Basically, yeah.
Met with embarrassment, but yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming through to the Anime Effect. Zelina, tell people where we can find you.
So I am on Instagram, X, I guess it's called now. And TikTok. Yeah, I'm like trying to remember all the changes, but at Zelina Vega WWE. Oh, and my Twitch is at Thea Trinidad.
There you go.
Perfect.
There we go. Thank you again for joining us.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely an honor. We would love to have you back on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Y'all, that was a great interview.
Y'all did good.
The cosplay was awesome. Just the random cosplay on screen. Like, she came prepared.
And she's kind of like a master of like casual cosplay too. Like she incorporates it. Well, you heard us talk about it.
Yeah.
Did you see her at the Royal Rumble?
I actually missed the Women's Rumble because I took a nap.
Bro.
I'm going to go back and watch it. But
it was good. I watch wrestling once a year.
And I'm glad you watched one of the big five for the year.
And when she popped up, I was like, she's going to be on the podcast. She's going to be on
our show.
Which is crazy that people are on our show.
Yeah, no, man.
Makes me anxious.
But thank you again to Zelina.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Heck yeah.
Good luck on SmackDown because she just got moved over from the Raw roster.
Mm-hmm. I know what that means.
She's going to be chasing them women's championships.
Woo!
So good luck. Also, shout out to Jey Uso. We need to get him on the show because I know he watches anime.
That would be cool.
So, but it is time. Oh, it's time for recommendations. It's our first one back.
I usually recommend the Philips Avena bottles for babies, but since then we learned that the Dr. Brown's bottles are actually better for feedings.
Huh. We'll have to dig into
prevent burping.
That's the kind of recommendations you're talking about, right?
No. I'm talking about anime recommendations.
Okay.
Because someone's grand return has happened.
It's me.
We thought that we would recommend an anime that had the best comeback story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What you got, Leah?
Well, I'm going to go recent memory, which it happens in like the first couple episodes, but Kafka, Kaiju number 8, where he's been trying all these years to join like it's a good one. What is it called?
Kaiju
Defense.
Kaiju Defense.
Oh, the Kaiju Defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got there. Collectively.
I was waiting for it to,
let it marinate. But yeah, where he, tried all these years, kept failing, and then, becomes the strongest pretty much like overnight, which I think that's really cool. And I really enjoyed Kaiju number 8. So
that's a good one.
I'll take any opportunity to plug it.
That's same, especially if you're reading it. He has another really good comeback coming. So
Okay, so I immediately thought of two, and I'm almost certain one of them is Leah. Like, it could go either way for which one is which one Lee's picking.
Okay.
So I'm just going to say one.
Okay.
Which is Ash Ketchum in Pokemon.
Oh, that's a good one.
Where he wins.
Finally wins.
Wins.
That's a good one.
Yeah, also unbiased, but I was quoted in an interview with The Verge when that happened.
Oh, sweet.
About the lasting legacy.
That's actually kind of awesome.
All right.
Shout out to Izzy,
Right.
she wrote the story.
Shout out, I guess.
But yeah, when Ash won after literally so many losses, like 20, 25 years of just beefing it.
Yeah. That was such a cool moment. And I think the reason why, like, oh God, I think the reason why that was so cool is because, like, the final animation sequence you get, like, they were like, we're dumping all of our budget into this last episode. And it was absolutely incredible. And it's cool because Ash has had so many teams through the course of, like, Pokemon history. And then you get to see, like, bam, right there, smack dab, and just wins it. I think I actually cried like watching that episode.
It is a tearjerker.
It was a moment. It was a moment.
I know I still feel sad about Ash, like, no longer being.
But like the new protagonists are great.
Yeah,
like,
but Horizon
good,
is
dude.
awesome.
It has a Pikachu who's the captain of a giant airship.
It's awesome.
And he wears the hat.
Captain Pikachu.
Captain
awesome.
Pikachu, bro.
How many times do we get?
But they couldn't put him in as like a.
He might show up one
gym
day.
master or like
what's a gym master?
What's
gym leader?
Oh, gym leader. I'm like, you know what a gym master
I'm gym
is.
leader. Nice to meet you.
Gym leader, gym leader,
nice
gym master. Yeah. Nice to meet
you. Okay.
Can I guess?
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Megalobox.
Oh, that's a good one. But that's not where I was going.
Oh, okay.
Not where I was going. I'm actually gonna say Black Clover. Like, Austin, have so many cool like comeback moments because I mean the point of most action shonen, right, is that they just consistently like power up. But Black Clover does such a good job of like stacking the stakes, right? Like it does such a great job of like scaling the magic in a way that's like you were not stronger than this person, and if you do not figure it out, then like if you don't have some kind of new spell or something pop up for you, then you're just gonna get wrecked. Like there's nothing. And
what was that? Go a couple decibels higher for us, Leah.
Nothing.
How did you describe that?
Pound Town.
Pound Town. All right, gym leader from Pound Town.
Gym leader, Pound Town. Pound Town Inc. Nice to meet you.
But like, especially for Asta's perspective, because he's always the underdog in every situation, because he only has anti-magic and he doesn't have actual magic. So he always has to figure out a way to like, he's always in a comeback situation. But I mean, between the main anime series and then the movie, and then where they are in the manga now, like it's been great. Like every moment has been great for them, like, coming back and kind of evening, the stakes. So
nice. Good pick.
Yeah. Look at this. Good picks around the table.
I think we got some recommendations from fans.
Yes, let's get into it. This is Jenny via the question form. Thanks for writing in, Jenny. To answer the question, how did you find this podcast?
No, we did ask that question, didn't we?
I guess so.
We should ask it again.
Block out my memory. I had been looking forever for a feel-good podcast on anime and manga, and nothing hit me right until I found this show. Smiley face. The vibes are just right. Oh my God.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
I love that.
That's so sweet.
It just made me think of another thing that my daughter does that's really cute, which is she'll like go to cry, but then it's like a fake out. So she'll do like
she's like, actually, I need to lock in.
She'll do this. She'll do this like yeah, like meh. And you'll see like the lip quiver and it like frown, and then she's back to normal.
She's like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
The pump fake cry.
Oh, Jenny also had a question.
Right. In exchange, I have a question. Nick, have you looked into Library Wars yet? Your rom-com corner is not complete without it.
Winky smiley face. Every time this comes up, I Google it and I'm like, I need to add that to my list. And then the list just keeps getting longer.
Oh, right. This show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe it's streaming on Crunchyroll. I think we have it on Crunchyroll. I'm going to check it out. I'm sorry, Jenny. I'll get to it. There's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. But you're right. It won't be complete without it.
All right. Now we've got more listener questions tackle, which is great because, Super Bowl is upon.
Hold on.
What just happened?
Oh my God.
There's no way.
Oh my God.
I love how it's just off brand enough that like the USPS can't
Yeah, it's not stolen valor.
Yeah, you can't like get arrested for like impersonating a male officer.
This is incredible.
I thought it was like a baby emergency.
Yeah, I thought he was
like
having a baby emergency. I thought it was like his parents called. No, this man left and did a legitimate costume change.
Now you guys got to get on the video episode to see what we're looking at right now because none other than Nicholas Friedman is wearing a full mail carrier uniform.
This is incredible. So now we're headed into the
Complete
mailbag.
with bag.
He has a mailbag.
I'm Derek, the mailman.
Okay, Derek.
Let's see what we got from Derek. No, wait, I'm Derek. This one comes from Nightshade. This one comes from Nightshade via the question form. What anime, manga, or game would you like to adapt into a live-action movie? We talked about this a little bit on the news episode.
We did.
I mean, you guys talked about it with Nick. I'm Derek.
Oh, okay. All right, Derek.
I work for the post office. The non-specific post office.
The anime post office.
I do central and rural delivery.
Dude, this thing came with so many envelopes.
Wait, the costume came with the envelopes?
Yeah, these are like legitimate good quality envelopes.
The person at Spirit.
Get a feel on those envelopes.
This is crazy.
Wow. Oh, that's a nice quality envelope.
Nice envelope.
The person at like Spirit or wherever just like took some from their office and put it in the...
This ain't no Spirit costumes. I'm Derek.
With the headphones, it kind of looks like it's kind of giving like fast food drive. It's kind of giving McDonald's beeping noises, with
what
a side of
anime,
stamps.
manga, game would you like to adapt into a live-action cinematic film movie?
Let me think.
I have two answers for this.
Why you always got two answers?
I always have two answers because I can't decide. Kuroko's Basketball and Blue Lock.
Okay.
Like, I think those would make amazing movies, especially because you talk about like the zone effect and stuff that they have. Like, it feels like something that normally happens in sports because you actually see it when athletes are playing, right? Like when they just turn it on.
I feel like we don't get a lot of good sports movies anymore.
I don't think, and
Challengers.
we don't get a lot.
Challengers is like barely a sports movie.
It's barely a sports movie. But no, but no, you're right. Like, we haven't got like a really good, like legit sports movie in a long time. And I think one of those two could make a really good like sports action movie. Like, it'd be great.
You make a great point because like if they took like the drama of, and I'm going to say it again, Challengers, and like adapted it to like a sports anime, I feel like that would actually be really cool. Like,
okay, so Zendaya,
with a new original. Yeah, with Zendaya as...
Zendaya's Isagi.
Oh my God, bro. No, it'd be Tom Holland. Anyway, that is my picks.
Those are good picks.
Yeah.
You know what I want to go with is Saint Young Men. Have you read that?
I have not.
That's the one where I think is it Buddha and Jesus are...
Oh, I think
like,
you were telling me about
hip
this one.
teens?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Huh.
I'm going to say Trace Memory.
Trace Memory.
I think Trace Memory would be really, really good.
Did you play the remake?
I didn't play the remake. I played the original on DS.
Hell yeah.
The original was fantastic. Trace Memory is so great.
Mm-hmm.
What a pull.
That was
because
awesome.
I love a detective type situation.
Yeah.
There's puzzles I'd love to see, like how that gets incorporated, like how she solves the puzzles and whatever. And it's actually a good story. It's kind of like a novel. It's a visual novel.
Kind of like Memento a little bit, isn't it? Like
it is.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan? Do you imagine Christopher Nolan's Trace Memory?
That would actually be lit.
Adapted from the 2005 Nintendo DS game.
Dog, it would be all like lens flare and like 70mm camera that it doesn't need. I think I'm okay.
How long do you think it's going to take for them to adapt Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood as a live action film?
I mean, at the pace we're moving with Sonic movies now, I mean, can't be too far behind. We're running out of material.
Sometimes I can't believe that game exists.
It's so good.
BioWare made a Sonic RPG,
and it's
it
incredible.
It wasn't.
I thought it was incredible.
Wow.
It's kind of basic, but it was incredible. Fight me.
Do you want to write in to the Anime Effect?
Do it to camera.
Do you want to give? Do you want to give your personal information?
Not us. We work here.
I know. It's like
to Derek the mailman. That's me. You can write in at got.cr/anime effect questions. That's got.cr/capital anime, capital effect, capital questions. Because it is case sensitive.
You sound drunk.
It is, and he does.
Is that the energy? Because I'm not.
The hat, like in the viewfinder or whatever, it's like shading your face in such a way that makes you look a little bit sinister.
My mailman.
Be a great horror movie.
I look sinister?
Anywhere.
I didn't think it was possible for me to look sinister.
Why did you choose Derek? Is that like the name that you wanted as a kid or something?
No. I think Derek's a bit
Derek's like a cool guy name.
Oh.
You don't think Derek's like a quarterback name?
I'm Derek.
Yeah, bro.
If your name is Derek, write into the show.
I heard you didn't like my name, bro.
We're waiting for you, Derek.
Derek, we're waiting by the phone.
Derek.
Oh my God.
Also, leave us a review.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Please, God.
Apple Podcasts,
Please.
Spotify.
Please.
If you're on the YouTubes, like, comment, subscribe, all that.
Yeah, that's right.
And
someone had said that they didn't know where to leave comments. You can do it on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can do it on Spotify.
Yep.
And if you leave a review on Apple Podcasts, you can do it there.
Make sure you put 5 stars and then do
Yeah.
Queen.
The thing.
All right, my head hurts. Lee, you want to take us out?
Because we've been laughing like maniacs for a solid
This
hour.
thing's a little tight.
It does look, it's like wrinkling in the middle.
But I also think it's because you have a lot of hair.
I have more hair than I did before I left.
It's true. Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks for joining us for another episode of The Anime Effect, brought to you by Crunchyroll and the folks over at Sony Music Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
The Anime Effect is hosted by Nick Friedman.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you're Derek. Mm-hmm.
Derek the mailman.
Oh, you're right. We have to separate the canon here.
LeAlec Murray.
Wait, but that means it has to happen every episode.
Not necessarily. Sometimes Nick, he fills in.
You're going to jump cut out.
Yeah.
LeAlec Murray is right here in the middle. Leah President's here. We're executive produced by Jonathan Hirsch, Joanna Clay, and Nick Friedman. Our lead producer is Kyla Carnero. Our associate producer is Zoe Culkin. And our mailman is Derek. Vince Garza filmed and Pixelworks edited the video. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks to Carla Solorzano and Tamika Balance Kalasny and Haley, Alex, Lena, and you guys.
And David.
I thought you were going to plug Derek again.
For keeping the show alive and amazing.
And for viewers like you.
And I'm so excited to be back, y'all. It's going to be a big year.
When your anniversary is coming up.
You ready to feel the effect of anime?
Whoa. He did the thing. Later days, y'all. Thank you.
I'm Nick again now.
Oh, my God.
And there's
Happy
nothing
Black
you
History
can do
Month.
about
There's
it.
nothing you can do about it.
You got a method actor.